Good afternoon. It is September 3rd, 2025, and today we had a range day. You can see we closed pretty much on the high. So let's take a look on the daily chart. Yeah, a bull body on the daily chart. Here's how the weekly chart is starting to look, and here's how the monthly chart is starting to look. So as I explained yesterday, I think yesterday's sell-off bulls looked at that as an opportunity to create a bull candle with a wick on the bottom because we're in a 6 bar bull micro channel. No bar has broken lower than the previous one. And so I think that's what the bulls are doing is they're just buying. Yesterday they were just buying the sell-off. So let's take a look back here. Had a flip-floppy day in the overnight. Looks like we looks like we sold off yesterday. Maybe that's probably where the market reopened, gapped up. So I got interrupted. I'm not sure where I was at, but I know we had this gap up, sell off. Then we rallied, and it looks like 5 o'clock comes in somewhere in here. Okay, so right about here. So I mean, you could argue for the second entry. I mean, I think the second entry, I think it's worth taking right there. Well, I'll mark that, but I just want to go through this real quick. We range for a little bit after the market opens. You get a rally up to the top of the range. It sells off, breaks out. First breakout fails. It makes a lower high. Then we make a lower low before we bounce. We get two legs up to the top of this range. Then we sell off, kind of go sideways here, and then this second leg has two legs in it, one, two, and then we go sideways, and then we have a buy the close rally until the end of the day. Uh, and 3 o'clock hit, we uh, pulled back to the EMA. So let's go right to where I was talking about this second entry long. Could you take this? Well, I mean, it looks to me like, we already have a break of this strong move up and a move to a new high. So I don't think it's the best, but we didn't pull back to the EMA. There's reasons to like it. There's plenty of room uh, to the at least this potential level of resistance. It just doesn't have the best signal bar. And yeah, so then we start to go sideways. You make this sort of double bottom high or low, but these bull bars aren't looking very strong, so I think you got to sit this out. Nothing in here that you can enter on stop orders. Uh, I don't think you want to limit sell up here. Maybe limit sell somewhere in here. After you get this nice bull close that fails, maybe you just sell the close of that bear bar. But I mean, it's got a tail on it. But the tail went lower than this, so I think that's reasonable to sell that close. And you get a second leg down. I think you could buy on a limit order down here. And then you can sell on a limit order up here. And then yeah, the breakout, you can see it's like a spike in channel. And right here is where we go sideways. It fails, boom, you get the higher low. So let me drag this out. So you get a breakout pullback, and I mean, maybe when this is a very strong bar, so I mean, you can consider buying in here. You can consider, I would say, limit order in here. Ends up working out. People, you can see people just taking quick profits. Goes a little higher, retraces. You get a bunch of overlap here, and it just sells off, makes a lower low, and then bounces again. Which, it's hard to trade this stuff because look at how big these bear bars are. It looks strong. There's a tail on the bottom of this one. There's a tail on the bottom of this one, though. So you got to keep that in mind. Get a nice bull leg up. Really we're really still in that range. So I mean, I don't think you want to buy anymore. I think you want to sit out at this point because you don't know what's going to happen now that we've broken out to the low side a couple times. Break out to the high side, and this is a pretty strong move up. Um, so if you're thinking that we're going to test the highs, the overnight highs, then maybe you buy into this, but you got to be very quick, making your decisions very quickly. You could also point out the fact that it's probably a measured move. Yeah. So take profits there. You can see sideways stuff in here, and then get a higher high, and then a sell off. Big strong bear bar right here. Not sure how I feel about that, but I like this one right here. Go short, maybe a limit order, or just sell the close when it closes like a bull body with the after testing that level of resistance, the bull body is less than 50% below the top, it's below the 50% mark of the entire bar. So I like that. It just looks like it's failing to go higher, and tight bear channel after that. And you can see people taking profits at this level of support and the overshoot. That's a perfect place to take profits. Makes one little leg down. Then you get a second entry short. Not a good signal bar. Whoops. Not a good signal bar here. And you get this lower high, and it kind of forms this channel, but that fails. Then you get a big bull bar. You have a break and an attempt at a new low, and then a big bull bar that closes on its high, opens on its low, closes on its high. It looks like a higher low, but prices are flip-flopping. I think you got to sit this one out. And then you get a sort of spike down and channel. Something like this. And you do get a failure right here. First entry failed, second entry long. Uh, I'm not sure you can take that. You're going into support on a stop order. It's just a little risky. Yeah, I think you can enter on a limit order if you think this bull doji is going to fail and you think we're really just in a range, because this one's kind of a doji too. Maybe you take that. Maybe you're expecting a second bear leg down. I think that makes sense. Then we create a failed second entry short right here off the EMA. I'm not these three bull bars aren't extremely strong, and this bull bar is strong, but then you get some sideways stuff. So I'm not crazy about taking this failure. It does work out though. And then we go lower and we sell off very strongly to support. And you do get a second entry short right here. I think this is reasonable. Um, you had a strong bear move right here. It looks like it's like a breakout pullback testing this level of resistance. So, and it's on the EMA. Uh, but that's a strong bull bar. So take some courage, and you might want to go for more than just a scalp there. And then we just go sideways. Look at all this overlap. So you could enter this on limit orders. I'd probably favor, well, it's hard to say you'd favor buys when we haven't broken above the EMA just yet. After this, we break above the EMA. Maybe you consider a limit order like down here. And then we get a buy the close rally. And so once you recognize this, buy and try and hold. You get this bear bar, put it one tick below. I mean, maybe you exit here. If you're in it early, maybe you exit down here. Then you get another bull bar. Maybe you exit here. Maybe go to a higher time frame and look at it there, because it's much clearer on this higher time frame. You know, this is a bull micro channel. There's no break below until this bar. So that's something to think about too. You recognize what it is. Okay, let me look at a higher time frame. So that's how I saw it today. There's one last look at this chart. One last look at the daily chart. I hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.